Every cat owner assumes the same thing. Purring means happy, content, relaxed. But here's what almost nobody talks about. Veterinarians have recorded cats purring while giving birth, while badly injured, and even while dying. If purring were simply a happy sound, none of that would make any sense. So what's actually going on? By the end of this video, you'll understand the real physical mechanism behind purring, and a theory so strange it sounds more like science fiction than biology, that your cat's purr might be able to physically heal bone. For most of us, purring is one of those things we never question. The cat purrs, we assume it's happy, end of story. But that assumption falls apart fast once you actually look at when cats purr. Kittens purr within days of being born, while nursing, before they can even see properly. Adult cats purr while being petted, sure, but they also purr while anxious at the vet, while in pain, and in some documented cases, in the final moments before death. That's the real problem with the happy sound theory. It simply doesn't hold up. A sound that shows up during comfort, fear, injury, and birth isn't an emotion. It's something more mechanical, doing something more specific. So the actual question isn't, why do purring cats seem happy? It's, what is purring actually for, biologically, that it would show up in every one of these completely different situations? Here's the good news. Scientists have actually figured out the physical mechanism of how purring works, and researchers studying that mechanism have landed on 3 separate, evidence-backed explanations for why it exists. Let's go through each one. The first thing to understand is that purring isn't produced the way a meow is. A cat's purr comes from rapid, repeated contractions of the muscles in the voice box, twitching roughly 25 to 150 times per second, combined with movement of the diaphragm. This happens on both the inhale and the exhale, which is why a purr sounds so continuous. There's no obvious pause for breath the way there is with a meow or a growl. What's remarkable is that this twitching is controlled by a neural oscillator in the brain, essentially a built-in rhythm generator, that fires signals to those muscles automatically without the cat consciously deciding to purr the way you'd decide to speak. This matters because it tells us purring isn't primarily a communication tool aimed at humans. It's a built-in physiological process, which is exactly why it shows up in situations that have nothing to do with wanting attention from a person at all. Here's the theory that sounds almost too strange to be real. A cat's purr typically vibrates at a frequency between roughly 25 and 50 hertz, and that specific frequency range overlaps with frequencies that have been shown, in other research entirely unrelated to cats, to promote bone density and encourage tissue repair. This has led to what's now known as the purr therapy or feline healing hypothesis. The idea that purring may have evolved partly as a low-energy way for cats, animals that spend an enormous amount of their day resting or sleeping, to maintain bone and muscle strength and encourage healing without needing to move. This theory would also explain something that's puzzled veterinarians for a long time. Cats have remarkably low rates of certain bone-healing complications compared to dogs of similar size, and heal from certain injuries with unusual speed. To be clear, this is still an active area of research, and scientists are careful not to overstate it. A purr isn't a magic cure. But the physical overlap between purring frequency and known tissue repair frequencies is real, measured, and one of the more genuinely surprising findings in this area of biology. The third explanation goes back to that strange list from the beginning: why cats purr while giving birth, while injured, or in distress. Researchers believe purring, in these contexts, functions as a self-soothing mechanism, similar to how humans might take slow, controlled breaths during a stressful or painful moment. The repetitive, rhythmic nature of the purr may help regulate a stressed nervous system, lowering heart rate and helping the body conserve energy during vulnerable moments. There's an evolutionary logic here, too. A loud meow during birth or injury could attract predators. A purr, by contrast, is quiet, low frequency, and close range, audible to nearby kittens or a trusted human, but far less likely to broadcast vulnerability to a threat. So in this light, a dying or injured cat purring isn't a contradiction at all. It's the same physiological tool being used for exactly what it may have evolved for, helping the body cope quietly during the moments it needs it most. So purring isn't one simple thing, it's a mechanical, involuntary process that your cat's body may be using for at least three overlapping reasons: physical maintenance, potential healing, and self-regulation during stress. The happy sound we all assumed we understood turns out to be one of the more quietly sophisticated things happening in your living room every day. Here's something you can actually pay attention to tonight. Next time your cat purrs, notice the context. Is it relaxed and being petted, resting alone, recovering from something, anxious at a new place? You'll likely start noticing your cat uses that same sound across situations you never would have grouped together before. If you notice something interesting, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear the specific moments your own cat purrs that don't fit the just happy explanation. And if you're the kind of person who wants the real mechanism behind things you've always taken for granted, subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is for. But cats aren't the only ones with a strange involuntary brain process hiding in plain sight. You've almost certainly experienced this one yourself, that unsettling feeling that you've lived this exact moment before, even though you know you haven't. That's déjà vu. And in the next video, we're breaking down what's actually happening in your brain when it happens. You won't want to miss that one.